now. Thank you. And let's get this going here. I don't know why they're laughing. Oh my goodness, great. There we go. We're waiting for YouTube to start streaming for us. Come on, YouTube. You can do it. You can do it. Still sending the data. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Oh,
Look who's back. Look at him dance. Oh, I like those moves.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's your day.
Somebody's day.
Celebrating you in this special
So special.
way. Party shine.
Shine.
Laugh and smile.
Smile.
We're celebrating you in style.
Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, da, 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 da. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, 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 da. Thank you to the Suno Orchestra. I'm Bonnie D. Happy to be here with my returning guest. He is one heck of a dancer. It's Dwayne B. Brenna, Brenna. How are you, Dwayne?
I'm doing just fine, Bonnie. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you're back. You're always so much fun. You ready for me? Oh, tell everybody. First of all, you've got 2 sentences to tell everybody what you do, who you are. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm an author, and two books coming out. Well, one's just out called Theories of Everything, a book of short stories. February, I've got a book called The Laundryman, a historical novel set in 1883 in the sort of the frontiers of Saskatchewan. Two Northwest mounted policemen ride to Prince Albert's settlement in order to solve the murder of a laundryman. So those two
Whoa.
books. Yeah.
Whoa. Was he doing laundry in certain people's homes that set him up for this murder by any chance? Was he,
No,
knowing too much information, maybe?
no. Well, he knew a lot of information, but it wasn't in people's homes. He had his own laundry establishment, and yes.
Okay, I guess I figured it out. Okay, good. So let me read this opening and let's get started. It's time to cheer, to toast, to woo. Bonnie's got big new bangs that are tickling her and she's going to just be fluffing them up here. It's October 10th. Happy birthday to you and you and you. And mine was 3 days ago. Happy birthday to me with Bonnie D on her scarlet mic dishing glam and sass with a vintage spike. No, I'm not the vintage. And look who's here with a velvet roar. It's Dwayne B, my guest co-host du jour. I like this. We're naming names in the birthday game from Hollywood Heights to YouTube fame, plus wacky holidays and music history gold. Get ready, darlings. The fun is set to unfold. So grab your party hat. Do you have a party hat, Dwayne? I don't see it.
And
I
not
will.
here.
Next
I
time,
should have brought it.
I know, and let the champagne pour. Well, it's 12 noon. We could have champagne. HB2U is lighting up October 10th with glam, bam, and more. So let's get started with events in music history, and I'll kick this off. Okay, 1964, when the Shangri-Las released their hit song, Leader of the Pack. And Dwayne, I remember something special about that song. I think they started it with the roar of a motorcycle. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Vroom.
I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
have I think I have a Porsche revving. Let's see if we there we go. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay. See, my new Apple Music is working. This is good sound effects. Okay, you've got the next one. What you got?
Yeah, on this date in 1970, Neil Diamond's Cracklin' Rosie hits #1, where it stayed for a whole week. Now, little known fact about Cracklin' Rosie is there's a wine made up here in Canada called Cracklin' Rosé. Now, I don't know if Neil imbibed Cracklin' Rosé at any time, but it was a poor man's woman. When I was a teenage Bronco buck, we would, when we didn't have a girlfriend on Saturday nights, the boys would get together and we just sit around with crackling rosé and drink it. It was like $2 a bottle, and it probably was worth $2 a bottle, but it was inexpensive.
It sounds like Boone's Farm strawberry something or other that people used to drink here. It was like, yeah, the straw. Okay. Well, thank you for that background. Crackle, I got to look that one up. In 1979, we're moving ahead here, a little closer to the present. Los Angeles Mayor Tom Bradley declared Fleetwood Mac Day. I hope people are still celebrating that. The group received a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 6608 Hollywood Boulevard, in case you want to go visit. 2 days later, their album Tusk is released, the highly anticipated musical follow-up to their album Rumors. So there's been a Fleetwood Mac Day since 1979 on October 10th. I wonder if they're celebrating it today. Do you know?
I don't, I celebrate it. I still listen to Landslide, which I think is like one of the most heartbreaking songs I've ever heard.
Oh,
Just a beautiful, beautiful song.
is it interesting how music stays with us over the years? The things we like, we remember, and we just go back to and listen over and over again. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
You've
On
got
this
the
state,
next. Mm-hmm.
yeah, 1945, the great tenor Luciano
85.
Pavarotti.
85. 85.
85.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay.
Did I
Yeah,
say 45?
you
85.
did. You did.
Okay,
Something
yeah.
came to mind. Okay.
Poor Luciano wasn't around in 19, well, no, he was around in 1945, but he was 10
Sorry.
years old. He was 10 years old in 1945. In 1985, his 1970, or no, sorry, his Christmas album, Oh Holy Night, became the first classical album certified platinum with sales of over a million copies in America. Now, Luciano was the son of a baker. He was a son of a baker.
I
And
didn't know that.
his mother was a cigar factory worker. And also, he was born 2 days from now on October 12th in
I didn't
1935.
know that. You did your homework. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, Dwayne, if you look back, 1985, that was 50, that's 40 years ago today, and
yeah.
they sold over a million copies. Now, I wonder what that would be in today's numbers. A million
Wow.
prorated up to 40 years later. It would be a couple of
Yeah.
million, I'm sure. Well, happy almost birthday to Luciano Pavarotti, and congratulations on that first classical album certified platinum. That's quite a milestone. That means people were listening, they cared, and they liked his music. I think that's great. And I'm going to say, and no doubt, that's a segue to the next one. No doubt they liked Pavarotti because in 1995, a decade later, No Doubt released their breakthrough album, Tragic Kingdom, with the hits Just a Girl and Don't Speak. You all know who sings those. It sold 10 million copies in the US, and now we have a comparative number and catapulted singer Gwen Stefani to stardom. No Speak, Don't Speak, and Just a Girl. I know both of those songs. Very
Mm.
interesting. Okay, go.
Lovely stuff. Well, on this date in 1999, the Las Vegas Grand Hotel holds an auction of several $100,000 worth of Elvis's memorabilia, including the King's wristwatch, his cigar box, and his 1956 Lincoln Continental. That Lincoln Continental, he actually drove to his court appearance in Memphis when he was charged with assaulting a gas station attendant. But it came out in the court appearance that the gas station attendant was showing off and picked a fight with Elvis. Elvis decked him, and so he got off the assault charge at any rate. But he drove that car to the court appearance.
Do we know how much that 56 Lincoln Continental sold for at the auction at the LA Grand Hotel? I didn't find that. Did you?
I did not find that either, and
We're gonna have to find out. You know what? We'll do a redux on this one. We'll come back to that one in another date. We'll find it. Okay.
yeah, it
Very
was a Mark II, and apparently there were very limited editions of this car that came out, and I understand that Elvis maybe twisted the arm of a local Memphis garage owner who was meant to sell that car to somebody else, but sold it to Elvis instead.
I'm going to see here. Elvis Lincoln sold at auction. Let me see if I can find it. Several of Elvis Presley's Lincolns have been sold at auction, including the 1967 Lincoln Continental limo that sold for $165,000 in 2019, a 1973 Continental limo that was listed at auction in 2022 with a high bid of $400,000. Other auctions, here's interesting. Other auctions include a 1960 Lincoln Continental Mark V limo in 2006 for an undisclosed amount, and I think this is maybe the one we're looking for. 1967 Lincoln Continental that sold for over $50,000 in 2023. So I don't have the one that sold in 1999. I have all those dates. So very, very interesting. The 1967 Lincoln Continental Lehman Peterson limo, a wedding gift from his manager, sold for 165 grand at auction in 2019. And I'm looking here quickly to see, and I don't see when it was, I don't see the 1999 auction, but his cars did very well. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so much for looking stuff up, right? Thank you for that background on the fight with the gas station attendant. In 1995, I've got the dates mixed up here because this comes sooner, but it doesn't really matter. Peter Frampton released Frampton Comes Alive Part 2. The album is a sequel, duh, to his 1975 smash album Frampton Comes Alive Implied Part One, the best-selling live album in history. And I don't know if it still is, but congratulations, Peter Frampton. I loved his music. Did you?
I did too. Yeah. Really like Peter Frampton.
Disco. Mm.
Yeah. In 2006, on this date, Sting released Songs from the Labyrinth, an album of 16th century lute songs. I like, I like Message in a Bottle, and I loved Fields of Gold. I don't think Sting was known for playing the lute quite as much. And in fact, this album was his first since 1986 that did not hit the British top 10 list.
Really interesting. I wonder why. Do you think people didn't want to listen to lute?
I think not. And I think some of the tunes on there were 16th, well, yeah, most of them were 16th century songs. So, they weren't rock and roll.
So we could say the album didn't bring in much loot, right?
I think
I'm
you're right.
sorry, that was terrible. That was just terrible. Let's move ahead one more year to 2007. These bangs are killing me today. Radiohead takes an innovative approach with the release of their seventh studio album in Rainbows by offering, listen to this, a pay what you want download. What? Most people paid nothing, but the album still did better than their previous album, Hail to the Chief, through pre-sales for disc box editions. How would you feel if you had a pay what you want download? Dwayne, this is a very personal question. I shouldn't be
Yeah.
asking you, but people might be listening. Would you pay for something that was offered for pay what you want?
Oh, if I really liked it, I might. It's a fact though that people, if you don't charge people for your stuff, they don't think it's worth anything. So, I think that's the problem with the whole pay as you can
That's a rule of
model.
business. Let's see if we can get a little laughter. This new Apple Music update is working very well. I can actually get the sound effects I want for the first time. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead
Nice.
to celebrity birthdays. I think I've got these in age order from oldest to youngest. I do for a change. Okay, Ben Vereen, 79 years old, dancer, actor, won a Tony Award for his performance in Pippin back in 1973. What was that 50 years ago? After appearing the previous year in the show, Jesus Christ Superstar, he played the manipulative Billy Flynn in the US and Canadian tour of Chicago. Oh, what a play, Chicago. And the movie, and starred as the iconic Wizard of Oz in Wicked on Broadway from 2005 to 2006. Very talented man. At 25, this is some trivia, he discovered he was adopted, Dwayne, when his
Wow.
passport application was denied, and he discovered his real name was Benjamin Augustus Middleton. Can you imagine applying for a passport and they say, that's not you?
Yeah.
In pre-fame, he enrolled at the High School of Performing Arts in New York, yay, at 14, and studied choreography under the famous dancers and choreographers Martha Graham, George Balanchine, and Jerome Robbins. Wow, that's really
Wow.
something. That's why he's so talented. He started so early. My goodness, talk about
Yeah.
passion. Happy
I saw him
birthday.
on I saw him on TV a lot, and I never realized that he was a great dancer until he showed up on something and he danced, and I went, "Wow, that guy can move."
There you
He was
go.
great. Yeah.
Happy
On
birthday,
this
Ben
date,
Vereen. Yes, go ahead.
uh, on this date, I don't know when, but today, David Lee Roth is 71 years
There you
old,
go. No years.
which makes me feel very old indeed. He was, of course, the American rock singer known for his wild and energetic stage persona. You ever see him in the video of Jump, which is my personal favorite David Lee Roth song? What's the lyric about standing against the record machine? He does
Mm,
backflips in the video. Back
wow.
back flips or front flips, I'm not sure. But he was the lead vocalist for Van Halen from 1974 to 1985. And then in 1996 again, I think he'd had a little bit of a breakup with the band
Hmm.
before then. And then again from 2006 to 2020 when they disbanded. Had a successful solo career as well with gold and platinum albums. And then he rejoined Van Halen in 2006 for a North American tour that became the highest grossing in the band's history and one of the highest grossing of that year. In 2007, David Lee Roth was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Van Halen. And his late 80s solo hits included, of course, California Girls, Yankee Rose, and Just Like Paradise.
Happy birthday, David Lee Roth. I didn't see him backflipping and front flipping. I got to go take a look at that. We have another singer celebrating a birthday today. It's Tanya Tucker. She's 67. What? Where have the years gone, Dwayne? American country music singer and songwriter who had her first hit, everybody remembers Delta Dawn, when she was 13 years old in 1972. What? She became one of the few child performers to mature into adulthood without losing her audience. So they followed her all the way through those years with a streak of top 10 and top 40 hits. Her hit songs include What's Your Mama's Name? Blood Red and Going Down. I don't know that one. In 1975, Lizzie and the Rain Man. In 88, Strong Enough to Bend. And then in 92, Two Sparrows in a Hurricane. That sounds scary. Maybe it's hopeful. Her 2019 album, While I'm Livin', won the Best Country Album Grammy, and her single, Bring My Flowers Now, maybe it's Bring Me Flowers Now, I have to see that, won a shared songwriting Grammy for Best Country Song. Her latest album is just 2 years ago, 2023. She collaborated with the wonderful Brandi Carlile, and the album is called The Sweet Western Sound, and Tanya Tucker was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame on October 22nd, which is coming up in 2023, almost 2 years ago. Happy birthday to Tanya Tucker. Oh my goodness, time flies.
Yeah. Oh, Bradley Whitford is 66 today. The actor best known as Josh Lyman on the series The West Wing, for which he's won an Emmy. He also had roles in Studio 60, on the Sunset Strip, in The Mentalist, in ABC's Trophy Wife, and in the movies, he played Adam Sandler's antagonist in the film Billy Madison. And he also wrote 2 episodes of The West Wing. He has 340,000 followers on Instagram. Wow.
That's not bad. It's not a million, but it's a good start. Bradley Whitford, you're only 66. You've got time to reach the million club, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, I think so.
Then he'll get back on this show because he'll be, well, I need 1.5 million in order to get on the show. But Bradley Whitford, I enjoyed you tremendously as Josh Lyman with all of your shenanigans and your political here and there on West Wing. I watched West Wing, Dwayne, years after it was on TV. I think I just watched it last year and I binged it over a period of weeks. And I caught up with it and I really immersed in it. I loved it. I watched a couple a night for, I think, a week.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks, I think. There were 7 seasons. So yes. So I'm going to move on now. We have another birthday. It's Mario Lopez. What a dimple he's got. 2 dimples. He's 52. Actor and TV host who has appeared on TV and films and Broadway. He portrayed A.C. Slater from 1989 to 1993 in the sitcom Saved by the Bell, The College Years, and there was another sequel in 2020. He has hosted the syndicated entertainment news magazines Extra and Access Hollywood, and he hosted America's Best Dance Crew for MTV. He gets around. In 2012, he co-hosted the season 2 of the American version of The X Factor with one of the Kardashians, and she didn't come back. I don't think they asked her, and he hosted it alone in season 3. He also hosted the Miss America pageant. I think I saw one of those back in the day, 2007, 2009, and 2010. Before fame, he started dance training in tap and jazz at 3. He was taking dance lessons at 3, Dwayne. Somebody saw either potential in him or they said, okay, we need this kid to do something. So they started, and then he did tumbling, karate, and wrestling at the local Boys and Girls Clubs when he was 7. He was very active. He was discovered, listen to this, he was discovered by a talent agent at a dance recital when he was 10 years old. And he did a lot of advertising work before he started on TV appearances. And one more thing, I think this is fun trivia. From 2002 to 2005, he was the host of the Animal Planet show Pet Star, but he was allergic to cats. He had a tough time when they had cats on the show. So happy birthday, Mario Lopez. Keep those dimples going. Okay,
Yeah.
Dwayne, go.
Happy birthday to him and also to Dan Stevens, who's 43 today. He's the heartthrob, the British actor who played Matthew Crawley on Downton Abbey. He only played it for 3 seasons, and there was a big fan uproar when his character was killed off. And
Aw,
yeah, it hit social media. It was a big deal. He's also starred in the 2014 film The Guest, and he played the Beast in the 2017 feature Beauty and the Beast.
I didn't
And he
know
was
that.
also cast in the title role of FX's show Legion. Some trivia about him: he has narrated more than 30 audiobooks. I've never listened to one of those,
Neither
and
have
earned
I.
2 audio award nominations. Pre fame, as a rebellious child, he was sent to Tunbridge boarding school in Kent. Now, I don't know anything about Tunbridge boarding school in Kent, but he must have been a bad boy to go there.
So happy birthday, Dan Stevens. I'm not going to play the applause yet because we have a couple of in memoriam. One is short and one I'll let you read for the second one as much as you want to, but I thought it was an interesting story. First of all, happy birthday in memoriam to Thelonious Monk, whose middle name was Sphere. Interesting. He lived from 1917 to 82, and he was 64 years old when he passed. American jazz pianist and composer, he had a unique improvisational style and contributed to the standard jazz repertoire, including Round Midnight, Blue Monk, Straight,
Yeah.
No Chaser, Ruby, My Dear, In Walked Bud, and Well, You Needn't. He is the second most recorded jazz composer after Duke Ellington. Happy birthday, Thelonious Monk. You left your mark on music, and so many people remember you and your wonderful contributions. Okay, Dwayne, who's next?
Okay, yeah, it's Orville H. Gibson. Orville H. Gibson was a mandolin and guitar maker who founded the Gibson Mandolin Guitar Manufacturing Company in 1902. And in 1936, much to the happiness of Bob Dylan later on, he created the first commercially successful electric guitar. His mandolins were unlike any previous flatback instrument, according to music historian Paul Sparks. His earliest known instrument was a 10-string mandolin guitar dated 1894. I've never seen a
Mm,
10-string mandolin guitar. I've seen banjolins. Have you ever seen them? It's a
no.
mandolin. It's stringed like a mandolin, but it's got a body like a banjo, so
Does
it's
it
louder.
sound like a banjo? Oh, it's loud, but does it have that twang of a banjo? That little
A bit, but it's
interesting.
just it's just a loud mandolin is what it is. I mean, one of the problems with mandolin is you get into a band and they can't hear you.
This is
but
true.
but
Look at the
but he
band.
solved that.
Yeah, you look at him and say, "Can I hear you?" Okay, can't hear you. Talk a little louder. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he solved that with the banjolin, anyways. But yeah, he worked out of his home in uh, Kalamazoo, Michigan. He patented his idea for mandolins in 1898. With no formal training, he created an entirely new style of mandolin guitar that followed violin design with its curved top and bottom, carved into shape rather than pressed or bent, and arched like the top of a violin. Um, Based on Gibson's ideas, 5 Kalamazoo businessmen formed the Gibson Mandolin Guitar Manufacturing Company in 1902, but the board soon passed a motion that Orville should be paid only for the actual time he works for the company. There's no clear indication whether he worked full time or as a consultant. But Julius Belson, in his book, The Gibson Story, states that Orville Gibson, quote, had visions and dreams that were considered eccentric.
Amazing. He worked out of his home workshop, and word has it in the history I read that he was so successful he could no longer keep up with demand for his guitar slash mandolins or mandolin slash guitars. It was so popular with so many musicians, and that's
Yeah.
when the five people in the five businessmen said, "Okay, let's form a company and let's kick you out if you don't do enough work." That was just anyway. Let's get some applause here. Okay, let me see if I can get a little more volume on this. Happy birthday.
Where does yesterday's
No, no,
future
no, 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 no. There we go. Honestly, seriously, I thought I had this nailed. There's the applause.
That's good.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we got the wrong intro, but that's okay. Let's move on to social media star birthdays, and I'll try that track again. on YouTube. Ben Phillips. He is all of 32 years old. I think he's almost a grown up. What do you think, Dwayne? Can we consider
Yeah,
him
he's getting close.
almost a
Getting
grown up? Well,
close.
he
Yeah.
has 4.5 million plus YouTube subscribers and just 1.6 million plus on Instagram. He's getting started. He's a YouTube, Instagram, and Vine sensation known for his prank and acting sketch videos. Interesting. He has posted multiple videos in front of luxury vehicles. I wonder if he ever did it in front of one of Elvis's Lincoln Continental limos. Wouldn't that be
Oh,
cool? And airplanes. Okay, he had 1 million followers on Vine when Vine was shut down, and major brands paid him over 12,000 pounds, this is British money, to feature them in his videos. That's called product promotion. His
wow.
2017 June video, Vibrating Pants on My Bro in Public Prank. I can't. Has 10 million views. I'm not going to watch it. But happy birthday, Ben Phillips. Go ahead, help me out here. What's the next one, Dwayne?
Vibrating. So, that is pretty cool. Yeah, no, it's this is Instagram model Marie D is 31 today. You know, she has 2.1 million followers on her Marie Office Crush account. She posts fashion content through lingerie try-ons. She does videos of her role playing being an office assistant and modeling dresses. One of her most famous TikToks with 5 million plus views was a video of her dancing at the office while her husband was working. And apparently, one of her most popular Instagram reels revolves around her dropping a pen, which has 4 million. It's got 4 million and one view now because I had to watch it last,
Did you
last
did you
night.
watch it? Did you
Yes,
really?
yeah,
What
yeah.
what is it? Tell me.
She's just bending over to pick up a pen.
I'm
I
afraid
don't want to describe it
I'm afraid
anymore.
to ask. I had a feeling. Well, happy birthday, Marie D. D-E-E. Uh,
It's funny, you know, nobody ever, I picked up many pens in my life. Nobody's ever thought to put me on Instagram.
you know something? I often say I think you and I and people like us are doing something wrong because we don't have millions of followers on any social platforms, and we're not doing, I don't know, dancing in the office and bend over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. Happy birthday, Marie. We'll leave that one alone. We'll leave you with your dignity. On TikTok, we have a young man who's 19. He only has 4.6 million followers and 194 million likes. His name is You Can Find Alex. All one word. Real name is Alex Danielle. Interesting. Daniel. That's a new way to spell Danielle with a Y instead of an I. You can find Alex, all one word. He posts short form POV, point of view, and lip sync content. He engages with followers on a live stream on TikTok. That's interesting. I haven't seen that before in any of the birthday celebrants. He has a clothing brand called Avarus, Avarus. Might be somebody named Ava and somebody named Russ clothing. It's featured on Instagram and TikTok in his account. He's known for his wavy haircut and mustache. And his
Wow.
right wrist is often filled, they didn't say covered, but filled with a series of bracelets. Happy birthday. You can find Alex at 19. Wow, he's going play 194 million likes. Can you imagine, Dwayne? 194 million.
Wow.
I
At
can't.
19.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. I know. He's been doing this a while. And you've got one more for us.
Yeah. TikTok star Furzapeta is 22 today. 6 million plus subscribers on her FER.FZR account. She's a prominent influencer who posts lip syncs, trendy dance routines, and humorous videos, often including text. And she occasionally appears with her boyfriend in these videos.
I think that's very exciting. Let's see if I can get this track to play. No, it's still playing the wrong one. There we go. Oh, Apple Music.
There we go.
Please
Yeah.
behave. Oh my goodness gracious. Just there we go. Okay, we don't want that one. I like the music, but it's the wrong show. Okay, happy birthday to everybody. This was wonderful. And let's do a couple of wacky holidays. And appropriately, for all these people celebrating birthdays today, Dwayne, for anybody celebrating a birthday, is National Cake Decorating Day. Interesting. Okay,
Wow.
the 1500s, we're dialing it back a couple of hundred years. 1500s, decorated cakes became popular in England during the reign of Elizabeth I, Culinary tastes were influenced by travelers to foreign lands who came home and said, I have a great new idea. So in the late 1500s, cake molds were molded into shapes and decorated with almond paste, similar to, and I like this, but I haven't had one in years, marzipan. What a wonderful kind of a candy or something to put on a decoration. They began to appear at extravagant banquets. So that was the start. What have you got next for us?
1660, an English king introduces French pastry. This is when Charles II returned from exile in France after his father was beheaded in England and the whole
Oh,
interregnum and all of that.
can't eat cake.
He, yeah, he couldn't even let them eat cake. When he returned from exile in France, he had a love for a lot of things Parisienne, but that included pastry. He was accompanied by his favorite French pastry chefs, who were rather uninspired by the dull-looking English almond buns. And these chefs suggested that the bun should be iced with a crust of sugar, then embellished with trinkets. He also brought, by a little known fact, well, maybe not so little known, but he also brought the French tradition of theater back to England. Theater had been banned for about 22 years during the Oliver Cromwell years, just because it was considered evil, the work of the devil. And before then, it only men were allowed on stage in Shakespeare's company. But Charles brought the tradition back of having female actresses. So we first start to see female actresses on the British stage, at least at that period of history, in 1660. And in fact, he had a famous lifelong affair, Charles II did, with the actress Nell Gwynn,
Oh my goodness.
who appeared at Drury Lane, one of the
Oh my
patent theaters
goodness.
in London. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that theater was banned not only because, well, they only had men, but not only because it was seen as the work of the devil, but because the dull-looking English almond buns. I think
Yeah.
that was a reason. But I'm curious, going back to the original item you read, Dwayne, is how did they embellish these sugar-coated buns with, that just sounds terrible, with trinkets? Were these edible? Were they like little charms? Were they little stars, little hearts? What were they made? Were they edible? Do you know?
I don't know, but I gotta think they had to be edible. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. On a previous show, I had something about the history of certain kinds of cakes, and they said, it was the history of da 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 baked into pie, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked, and
Oh,
their history was that some chefs would. It was the history of you put a crust on something, and then you have things come out of it. The blackbirds weren't actually baked into the pie, but they were released about the time the pie was opened, and they were live, and they flew off. But some royalty made cakes big enough or crusts big enough to have actual actors and musicians inside the crust, and then they burst out and started playing.
wow,
Seriously. Seriously, I
wow.
know. So this reminds me, I'm going to move on because I'm going to get in trouble here. In 1760s, cakes and decorations together at last. Although sugar sculpting for festive occasions had become a specialty, of Italian chefs as early as the 1600s, so back when Charles II was doing his thing, it wasn't until the 1760s that these decorations were applied to cakes. So first it was buns and pastry, and now it went to cakes. And there was a cookbook written by a Mrs. Raffald, Raffald. I don't know anything more about her. She published it in 1769, and it was called The Experienced English Housekeeper. And it included 3 recipes for a rich cake, marzipan, and icing. We got to go find a copy of that, Dwayne. Yep.
Yeah, one of my favorite cakes is the angel food cake, and I looked up the provenance of the angel food one time, and it was like the first mention of it was like 1870 something, according to this website I found. But the first, maybe I guess the first recipe appeared somewhere for it. But that's not that long ago, and what a great cake.
Nothing like angel
Anyways,
food
and
cake. Yes.
yeah, it's lovely. In 1976, we've got the creation of ISIS, not that ISIS.
Yeah, I
This
know.
is the International Cake Exploration Society, ICES,
Thank you.
which was founded in Monroe, Michigan, at the National Expo Cake Show. Didn't even know such a thing existed.
We
With
do
cake
now.
decorators sharing their craft at their annual convention and show held in a different U.S. location each year. Members enjoy demonstrations and classes and displays of of amazing cakes,
Could be
rather, and
amateur
sugar
too.
art. Could be amateur,
Could be.
but amazing cakes and sugar art.
Well, so
So,
that's it for National Cake Decorating Day, and you're starting off the next holiday. What else is
yeah,
happening today?
it's World Egg Day. Who knew
Oh,
that?
you
Yeah,
do.
and in fact, I'm in honor of World Egg Day, I'm going to do a little very learned introduction to
Mm.
chicken rearing, which takes us back to 1500 BC. Now, eggs. Eggs are a rich source of selenium, vitamins A, D, K, B6, and B12, and
Mm.
minerals such as zinc, iron, and copper. And they are particularly known to be a source of choline, which helps in brain development and
Ooh.
I forget which. Oh, no, it sharpens memory.
Yes.
Although
I
well,
caught that. I did. I did. Go ahead.
we have no definitive answer to the question which came first, the chicken or the egg. Egg history dates to ancient times, 1500 BC at least, when chickens are brought into Sumer and Egypt to be reared for their eggs and meat.
Very, very interesting. And I'm wondering when I saw that Sumer, whether it's Sumeria, but that may be how we pronounce it today. I don't know. But okay, 1500. And I eat so many eggs. I eat a couple of eggs a week and I make them in different ways. And I have to tell my doctor if he talks to me about I'm not getting enough of these minerals, I'll say I'll eat more eggs. Zinc, iron, copper, vitamins A, D, K, B6, and B12. I feel healthier already, not to mention the choline and the selenium. Dwayne, I just feel wonderful. And I'm so wonderful that I'm going to tell you in 1911, this is 411 years after when you were talking about the beginning of chicken rearing, the egg carton. Don't we love the egg cartons? Was invented by Joseph Coyle, Coyle, in Smithers, British Columbia. Now, we have several kinds here in the US. I don't know what you have where you are, but some of them are those old kind of soft cardboard that you could kind of squeeze and crush if you wanted to. And we also have the styrofoam kinds. And recently we've had the clear plastic kinds that you can actually see through. And those are very
Wow.
interesting. Yeah, so we have three different
Yeah.
kinds, but I think they charge more for the plastic kind. You've got another one for us. What happened in 1964?
I've got all these interesting acronyms. It's the formation of IEC, the famous IEC, the International Egg Commission, is formed to globally represent egg producers and promote egg consumption as part of a balanced diet.
I feel better already. In March 1994, we had the mega omelet. I researched this and I found out that at the time, the largest omelet in the world was 1,383 square feet, and it was made in Yokohama, Japan, with 160,000 eggs. I wish I had a picture for it, but I don't. Can you even, how 1,860, that's a house. That's a small house, right?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
how did they
Yeah.
cook it? How did they cook it? An omelet is all eggs cooked in the same. They didn't give me the details on how they prepared it. It's
Yeah.
just a
Wow.
concern. I wouldn't want to eat that. And you've got one more to cap this off.
Yeah. In 2012, Portugal decided to go one better.
Yes.
Portuguese chefs set a new world record for an omelet that weighed 6.466 tons or 14,225 pounds, 6 ounces. Uh, it was it was 145,000 eggs. It was cooked in a pan that was 33 feet wide. I don't have in my kitchen. I don't have too many pans that are 33 feet
3
in
feet wide.
diameter. Apparently took 6 hours to make. So, if you're waiting in that restaurant, that was a long wait for your omelet. 6 hours.
Well, it's no longer breakfast, that's for
No,
sure. Unless you come the
I
night
guess
before.
yeah.
Show up at midnight. I think that's great. Yes, go ahead.
No, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Dwayne, it's always too much fun with you. I'm going to put the music on, and I got the right one this time. Let's dance out. Everybody have a great weekend.
You too. Happy birthday to you, Bonnie.
Thank you, dear. We're going to take pictures afterwards. Don't go away. Radio Red and Dwayne B.
birthday,
Bye-bye.
it's your day.
It's your day.
We're celebrating you in this special
We think
way.
it's a special way. It's
Shine.
definitely fun. I don't think anybody else is doing this kind of show.
We're celebrating you in style.
Ba, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. Thank you to my Suno Orchestra. Thank you to Dwayne B. Hugs and kisses to everybody, and let's